In this video, we are going to learn about the basic concepts of ratio and proportion. We are going to start with the introduction of ratio. The very first thing that comes in our mind regarding ratio and proportion is its application. Why I need to study this ratio and proportion? Ratio and proportion is basically used for the comparison. If we want to compare two quantities, then ratio is a very helpful topic. So, what is a ratio? Basically, ratio is comparison of two quantities in terms of division. It's very tough to understand this topic through this definition, so I would like to describe it using an example. Let us take an example. We are having two students in a class. One is Ram and other one is Sham. The height of Ram is 320 centimeter and the height of Ram is 320 centimeter and the height of Sham is 160 centimeter. As it is given, we can easily identify that Ram is taller than Sham. Now the question arises, how many times? Like, how many times Ram is taller? To solve such questions, ratio is very helpful concept. If we want to know how many times Ram is taller, we must know the ratio. Ratio of their heights is basically the comparison of two quantities, that is of two students. So the very first thing is I must know the difference and it must be divided with the reference, that is with whom you want to compare. In this, I want to compare it with the Ram. So, I will take the difference. I will first write the reference, that is, the difference between 2 is 320 minus 160. Now I will be taking the reference. Reference here is Ram. The height of Ram is 320. So here I can see it's 160 and it's 320. So here comes the ratio as 1 2. Here I can see that this line, this horizontal line basically used for division, here shows the ratio. So we get the ratio as 1:2. That is, Ram is 2 times taller than Sham. So this was the basic concept of ratio. Now let us see another example. We are having two equal cups of coffee. In first cup of coffee, I added let it be A. Let it be A. It is the first cup of coffee. And we have B. We are having equal quantity, equal coffee in both the cups. Now I am adding some sugar. I add here 1 spoon of sugar. Here I add 2 spoons of sugar. We can easily identify that the coffee B will be sweeter and coffee A will be less sweeter. But how many times? Here the times is very easy. Like the ratio of sugar is 1 divided by 2. That is, here I am adding 1 spoon of sugar, and here I am adding 2 spoon of sugar. So here I can easily say that B is sweeter, that is 2 times sweeter than A. Now comes the next topic, that is very important topic. It is proportion. What is basically a proportion? Proportion is a part of ratio. That is, it is an extension of ratio. If the two ratios given to us are equal, they are in proportion. Now, how we can check that whether a given ratio is in proportion or not? For this we are having a very interesting rule. It says that if two extremes is equal to the product of two extremes is equal to the product of two means. Now the question arises, what is an extreme and what is a mean? So here I will explain it. If I am having first ratio as 1:2 and the other ratio as 4:3, now I can write it as proportion, like 1:2. For proportion I use double colons, and now I use 4:3. These double colons identifies the proportionality. Now, what is an extreme and what is a mean? So, the first and the last of these two ratios are known as extremes, and the two which are inside the ratio are known as means. Now I will check their product. It will come out as 3:1, and the next product is 4:2, which is absolutely not equal. It comes out as 3 and it comes out as 8. 8 and 3 are not equal, so this ratio is not in proportion. Now I will take another example. Here I am having an example to check whether 3:4 is proportional to 6:8. So the very first thing I'll do is I will write these ratio like this: 3:4 and it is 6:8. Now I will take the product. I have to check this proportionality, right? I will take the product of two extremes, that is 3:8, and the product of two means, that is 4:6. It comes out to be as 24 and 24, which is an equal one. So these two ratios are in proportion. This was the basic concept of ratio and proportion. This will clear all your doubts regarding the concept of ratio and proportion and why we use it. Thanks for watching.